This is domestic reports from top Accolade News. We're starting with the focus on politics. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians to rally together in building a stronger, self-reliant nation, assuring that his administration's reforms are laying the foundation for long-term prosperity. Speaking in a televised address to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary on Wednesday, Tinubu acknowledged the hardship caused by subsidy removal and exchange rate unification, but insisted the policies were necessary to avert economic collapse. He stressed that progress would be judged not by statistics alone, but by better food security, education, power supply, and community safety, urging citizens to embrace patriotism through tax compliance and support for local production.
I will continue to work for you and justify the confidence you repose in me to steer the ship of our nation, that we have finally turned the corner. The worst is over, I say. Yesterday's pains are given way to relief. I salute your endurance, support, and understanding.
This year's anniversary was marked with reduced fanfare as the government cancelled the traditional Abuja parade, citing cost saving and security concerns. More on politics, the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has urged the People's Democratic Party to allow former President Goodluck Jonathan to enjoy his retirement in peace instead of dragging him into the 2027 presidential race. APC spokesman Seyi Oladejo, in a statement on Tuesday, mocked PDP chieftain Jerry Ghana's claim that Jonathan would contest, warning that the former leader would face numerous landmines, including legal hurdles and questions of capacity. He accused the PDP of undermining internal democracy through such pronouncements while affirming Lagos APC support for President Bola Tinubu's reform agenda. Oladeja advised opposition figures to present concrete policy ideas rather than nostalgic campaign hype, insisting Nigeria should judge parties by records and plans, not recycled rhetorics. Still talking politics, the All Progressive Congress has unveiled the timetable and fees for its 2026 governorship primaries in Osun State, outlining key dates for nomination, delegates congress, and screening of aspirants. In a statement signed by National Organizing Secretary Suleiman Agongu, the process will kick off with the notice of election to the state chapter on October 3, 2025, followed by membership register updates from October 20th to 31st. The sale of expression of interest and nomination forms open on November 12th, with the deadline for submission set for December 1st. Governorship aspirants are required to pay 50 million in total, while delegates will pay 5,000 naira each. However, women and persons with disability will only purchase the expression of interest form, while youths between 25 and 40 will receive a 50% discount on the nomination form. The timetable also includes provision for screening, appeals, and ratification of results in line with the 2022 Electoral Act. Now shifting focus to Labour, the federal government has resolved the disputes between Dangote Petroleum Refinery and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria after 2 days of intense conciliation talks. Labour Minister Mohammed Dingyadi announced early Wednesday that both parties agreed to redeploy disengaged workers within the Dangote Group without pay loss, respect employees' unionization rights, and guarantee no victimisation of staff. Pengassan in return pledged to begin calling off his strike. The high-level negotiation, attended by top government officials, followed union allegations of mass sacking and foreign staff replacement, claims denied by Dangote Refinery. The government stressed that the settlement was crucial to safeguard Nigeria's economy and energy security. Now moving to energy, confusion trailed Nigeria's power sector on Tuesday following viral claims that the federal government had approved a 4 trillion naira debt refinancing plan to settle outstanding obligation owed to the power generation companies, a report that the industry's umbrella body swiftly dismissed. The unverified report alleged that the bailout would restructure debts accumulated between 2015 and 2023 through bonds, treasury instruments, and phased cash payment to restore liquidity and stabilize supply. However, the CEO of the Association of Generation Companies, Joy Ogaji, denied knowledge of any such plan, stressing that the GenCos had not been officially engaged and warning that mounting arrears to gas suppliers were already crippling generation capacity. Stakeholders have urged the government to clarify the situation, noting that uncertainty only worsened investor confidence as the sector struggles with chronic debt, poor remittance, and diminishing supply. More on energy, the Nigerian Independent System Operator has reported a sharp decline in electricity generation following industrial industrial action by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, which disrupted gas supply across the country. Power generation fell from 4,300 megawatts in the early hours of Sunday, 28 September 2025, to about 3,200 megawatts at its lowest point, forcing the operation to implement contingency measures, including hydropower optimization, load balancing, and selective load shedding to prevent a nationwide blackout. NISCO said the intervention helped sustain supply to critical facilities while reaffirming its commitment to maintaining grid stability amid the labor-induced gas shortages. Now in security, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has warned that the worsening insecurity and poverty ravaging northern Nigeria must be treated as a national emergency rather than a regional issue, describing the scale of killing as a cost-crippling development. Speaking at the Northern Nigeria Investment and Industrialization Summit in Abuja, Dogara urged governors of the 19 northern states to pool resources in tackling insecurity, insisting that no meaningful development could occur without peace, while former Senate President Bukola Saraki disagreed with the idea of regional pooling, advocating instead for a holistic national plan involving both government and private sector holders. Lawmaker Bello Erifai cautioned that the region's large youth population has become a liability through banditry and cybercrime. The summit concluded with the adoption of a 10-year development plan and the Northern Nigeria Integrated Economic Development Charter to address security, poverty, energy, agriculture, digital innovation, and mining in a coordinated approach. Still on security, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has raised alarm over Nigeria's 24 million out-of-school children, describing them as a time bomb that could become easy recruits for future terrorist groups if urgent action is not taken. Obasanjo urged leaders to prioritize human development, empowerment, and employment, stressing that failure to address the crisis will make today's Boko Haram a child play. He also called religious and traditional leaders to embrace unity, education, and youth empowerment to break the cycle of poverty and extremism. That is the domestic news update. For now, on to Accolade News. To stay with us for more domestic updates and developments, I am Blessing Bassi.